Top of the sixth, you can listen to the game on our sister station at 98.7. All right, we're going to talk some football, some ASU football, and one of the top JUCO players in the country has decided that he is going to go to ASU. So Kenny Dillingham and his staff apparently have done it again.
Yeah, Joshua Shanklin joins us on the Right Toyota guest line. Josh, welcome to the Valley. How stoked are you? I know you probably get asked this all the time about coming to Arizona State over the other schools that offered you.
Yeah, it's really all a blessing for real. Like, still taking in everything, just coming from JUCO and everything. It's really a blessing to be part of the next level, you know?
Yeah, 100%. 6'4", 220 is what it has here. Registered 14 and a half sacks out of JUCO. I want to go back to high school. How was your high school recruitment in a JUCO in today's college football with the transfer portal and stuff? Not a lot of people come out of there because people are looking at the transfer portal or high school. How was your high school recruitment and what ultimately led you to Foothill College?
Really didn't get the opportunity I felt like I deserved. Like playing high school, that's when I first transitioned to playing DN. That was my senior year, my first year playing DN, and I had 10 sacks and a bunch of TFLs, and I thought ultimately I was going to get an opportunity. But my high school coach, he was just trust the process and trust God, and ultimately he knew my junior college coach, so he came to McClymonds, and that's how I ended up at Foothill. He recruited me from there, and then really just took the process of going to JUCO. I redshirted my first year, just sat out, wanted to get bigger, faster, and stronger. And then just being on the sideline, watching the games, I just got hungry. And then the second year I came back, became one of the captains on the team, and ultimately balled out and became one of the top recruits in junior college.
Joshua, you had a lot of people after you, Missouri, West Virginia, Ole Miss, UCLA. What changed your mind to go to ASU? How did Kenny Dillingham and his staff convince you the Sun Devils was the best place?
It really just felt like home. Like when I first met the coaches in person, because we had conversations over the phone, but that could only go so far. But just meeting them in person, they was all genuine. They was just being themselves. They didn't try to put on a facade and just try to convince you that, we need you, we want you. But they just made me feel like home, and feel like this is a place I could come in, develop, and become a star player, and develop me into the pro athlete that they think I could be.
Joshua, the junior college experience in California is a little bit different. For those who are unaware, there are no scholarships and things like that. Talk about some of the experiences that you had to endure as a junior college athlete in California and how that helped shape you ready to make this decision to come to the Valley with Arizona State.
It really just made me more determined. It made me want it more because, as you know, I live in East Oakland, California. And my school is about a 45 to an hour drive. So just taking that drive and putting in the work every day, it just made me hungry. It just made me want it more.
You got any funny Kenny Dillingham stories? Because I mean, there's got to be something that he said to you to recruit you. Because me and Connor, we played in college, and I always tell people all the time that there's two head coaches I'd go back and play for. It'd be Dan Lanning in Oregon, and it would be Kenny Dillingham. Just the fire energy out of him, and you wouldn't expect him being kind of a little guy. But what specifically did he say anything to you, or any type of funny stories that he had on your visit to ASU?
Not necessarily. It was just. When we was at dinner, we just had good conversations. It wasn't even just about football. It was just anything. We was talking about movies, stuff like that. Just having good conversations. And then at the meeting, at the little head coach meeting I had with him, it was just great energy, good vibes. All the coaches was just super respectful, and they were about business.
And Joshua, just for some of the fans who are excited to have you coming out here, what are the type of player that they can expect that you're going to be bringing? Are you somebody who is more of a pass rusher? Are you a set run first type of guy? What's the kind of player that Sun Devil fans can get excited for?
They could just get ready to see it all. I'm very versatile. I could rush the passer. I could drop into coverage, and just being the JUCO kid, they just don't see how much of a dog I am. Like, they don't know how bad I want it for real.
Did you just say that you could jump into coverage as well?
Yeah, because I played linebacker a little bit at Foothill.
Did you really? Okay, what's your speed then? You could cover a back coming out or a tight end?
I could cover anybody they want me to. That's it.
Yeah.
I like this guy.
I love the excitement there.
Yeah.
Did you watch the college football playoff with Arizona State? And was that your kind of first eye on them, or have you always had a history of watching Arizona State football in the past?
No, I always had an eye on it. It's just it was just like the energy. Like I don't play for names. I play for a school that's going to develop me to be who I need to be.
And you want to be an NFL player.
You know that.
All right. With Cam Scadaboo and the things that he accomplished last year and getting drafted by the Giants, that had to be impressive to you as well.
Yeah, just seeing how they transfer what they say. Like, they're not just all talk, like they prove it with the people that they produce.
It's great to have you on the show, pal. Thank you for coming on. And when do you expect to get on campus?
I believe early July.
Okay.
I got to finish up my quarter at playoff.
It'll be fun to watch you do your thing. Thank you for picking ASU. We'll look forward to meeting you. Thank you, Joshua.
Yes, sir. Appreciate the time.
There you go. That is the brand new recruit, #1 player in JUCO as the edge rusher. That's pretty good.
You didn't have to cut the interview off there, Jimmy. We had about a couple more questions, but I guess we got to let him go a little early. You know, you don't want to have him too much time there. I just find it fascinating. I mean, Connor, you know, too, being out of JUCO, like, that's not easy life for him not to have a scholarship, and for him to kind of talk about how he picked up a defensive end in his last year and didn't feel like he, got recruited the way he was able to. He took a step back, redshirt out of JUCO, watching everybody play while he got faster and got his work ethic higher and get stronger. And I'm excited to see him. It seems like he's just a guy that's all football, nothing else. And he's not going to get into the drama or the parties and the glamorous thing. He's just kind of that hard-nosed, rugged guy. You could tell just even hearing a 7-minute interview about him.
So one thing that he was talking about there that I think, it really kind of hit close to home for me as well is, this is a guy who's talking about having to commute 45 minutes to an hour plus every single day to get to school. I know at one point I actually went to a sister school to Foothill. I went to De Anza Junior College out there in California. There was a point where I was driving about an hour and a half each day just with traffic, things like that. And that's to get to your school. That's to get to your practice. And then coming home, you're dealing with that same thing. A lot of people, if you told them you were spending 3 hours a day in a traffic commute, they look at you crazy. But when you hear some of these guys and the drive that they have, that motivation factor, that's the type of player that I'm excited that Coach Dillingham is bringing in. Somebody who's willing to do the extra work and take the extra steps to find a way to be great. So I'm excited. This was a great get, in my opinion.
So if you're going to get judged out of JUCO in California, what level would you say that is? How good a football is it?
Well, to be honest with you, we didn't get there, but he's playing in the Basics Conference, which is one of the best conferences in the entire country.
Okay.
You're talking about schools like College of San Mateo, who's won the California championship probably 4 out of the last 5 years. You're looking at College of San Francisco, that used to be that powerhouse for a long time. We're talking about Butte, where Aaron Rodgers played. There's a lot of these schools that hold a lot of weight and get guys to the next level. So very competitive conference that he was competing in.
I think him getting recruited by Arizona State and Dillingham, and him talking about how the biggest thing that he took from Dillingham was him not talking about football and him wanting to know, what's your favorite movie? What are your favorite shows? Him being relatable like that, you could tell just how good of a recruiter that Dillingham is. They hired this guy at Arizona State. I mean, he picked up Arizona State after taking official visits to Missouri. I'm sure Ole Miss was tempting, and the pass rushers that they could produce every year, and even UCLA to be able to stay home. Instead, he decides to go to the ASU Sun Devils. A huge get for Kenny Dillingham, and a guy I mentioned it over and over again. Two coaches, Dan Lanning and Kenny Dillingham. In today's era of the NIL and college football, you have to be relatable to these young recruits. And for Kenny Dillingham being a younger coach, sure, the older heads probably have a more advantage of him for football knowledge, but a guy that can relate to his players, a huge get. I'm excited to see. This is a guy that just wants to play football. You could tell that he's going to go in and make a big impression. 6'4", 220, 14 and a half sacks. it's going to be fun to see what he can do at Arizona State.
I'm with you on that 100%. Quickly updating right now, Mets and the Arizona Diamondbacks, they are in the bottom of the sixth inning, 1-0 in favor of the Mets as we speak. Hey, our top stories and that great interview presented today by Network Automotive Centers. Now, if you're looking for a reliable auto repair, look no further than Network Automotive Service Centers with 6 locations across Arizona. Now, they're your trusted experts for maintenance and repairs. They're family owned, and they've been so for over 30 years. And they like to treat you like you're in their family. So they are located in Apache Junction, Gilbert, Prescott, Queen Creek, and 2 locations in Mesa. You need help? Get help. Network Automotive, where your satisfaction is 100% guaranteed, and you can find them on the web, networkautomotive.com. Again, that is networkautomotive.com. All right, coming up, we're going to get into some of the sound from the Suns general manager yesterday, that, of course, being